I now give the floor to the distinguished delegate of Pakistan.
Chair, I wish to congratulate you and other members of the Bureau on your election. Chair, this is an important debate. The imperative of decolonization is not merely a matter of history. It remains an urgent demand of justice for people still living under alien domination and foreign occupation. The Declaration on Decolonization proclaims that all people have the right to self-determination. The founding fathers of the UN expressly acknowledged the primacy of this right by placing it in the very first article of the UN Charter. The Declaration also decrees that the subjection of people to alien subjugation, domination, and exploitation is contrary to the Charter of the United Nations. For its part, since our own independence, Pakistan has been at the forefront of the UN-led decolonization process, extending unwavering support to people struggling against colonialism, foreign occupation, and alien domination. The decolonization agenda has seen historic progress since 1946, with over 80 former colonies achieving independence under the auspices of the UN. That is a manifestation of the transformative power of the UN Charter and the Declaration. Yet, the story of decolonization remains incomplete. People in different regions continue to remain deprived of the right to self-determination, and foremost among them the people of Palestine and the people of Jammu and Kashmir. The tragedy of Palestine continues to cast a long shadow over the credibility of the international order and the United Nations. Generations of Palestinians have endured occupation, dispossession, blockades, and repeated cycles of violence, the latest being the tragedy in Gaza that has unfolded before us over the last 2 years. More than 66,000 Palestinians, the vast majority of whom are women and children, have been killed. Homes, schools, and hospitals have been deliberately destroyed. Aid workers and journalists targeted, as Israel, the occupying power, has trampled upon international law, including international humanitarian law, with impunity. Words do not suffice to describe the gravity of this situation. Chair, our position is clear. Lasting peace in the Middle East requires the realization of the right of self-determination by the Palestinian people and the establishment of a viable, independent, and contiguous state of Palestine on the basis of pre-1967 borders with Al-Quds al-Sharif as its capital. Occupation must end, for it is the root cause of instability in this region. The recent consultations led by the US President with Arab and OIC leaders and the announcement of a plan mark important developments that have been widely acknowledged. We sincerely hope that these efforts will secure what is urgently needed: an immediate ceasefire, the end to the war in Gaza, unimpeded humanitarian access, and above all, a credible political pathway towards Palestinian statehood in accordance with international legitimacy and UN resolutions. Chair, in our own region, the flagrant denial of self-determination in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir continues unabated. This is one of the oldest unresolved items on the agenda of the United Nations, sanctified in a series of Security Council resolutions which explicitly prescribe that the final disposition of Jammu and Kashmir shall be decided through a fair and impartial plebiscite under the UN auspices. Both India and Pakistan accepted these commitments, and under Article 25 of the UN Charter, implementation of these resolutions is binding. For more than 7 decades, India has evaded its obligations through repression, deception, and brute force. Since the illegal and unilateral measures of 5th August 2019, India has sought to annex the disputed territory in gross violation of Security Council resolutions, which contain clear provisions that no unilateral action can constitute the final disposition of this territory. All such actions are null and void. The Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir has become the most heavily militarized zone in the world, with over 900,000 occupation forces deployed in the region. This military occupation has unleashed a reign of terror, extrajudicial killings, enforced disappearances, torture, arbitrary detentions, and collective punishment. The entire legitimate Kashmiri leadership has been imprisoned since 2019, with several leaders passing away in custody. Yet, despite this repression, the Kashmiri people continue their courageous struggle for freedom, rejecting India's illegal measures and sham exercises. In parallel, India has embarked on a settler colonial project to alter the demographic composition of the occupied territory. Millions of illegal domicile certificates have been issued to outsiders, accompanied by the confiscation of Kashmiri lands and properties for military and official use, a blatant attempt to convert this territory's Muslim majority into a Hindu majority. Chair, durable peace in South Asia cannot be achieved without the resolution of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute. Pakistan seeks peaceful and cooperative relations with all its neighbors, including India. But peace cannot be built on injustice and denial of rights. India must end its human rights violations in occupied Jammu and Kashmir and without delay rescind all unilateral and unlawful measures taken since 5th August 2019. The Security Council, on its part, must actively promote a just settlement of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute in line with its resolutions and in accordance with the wishes of the Kashmiri people. Chair, in conclusion, let me reiterate that the international community cannot allow colonialism in any form to persist in the 21st century. Pakistan will continue to champion the unfinished agenda of decolonization. The credibility of this organization rests on ensuring that those promises are fulfilled. I thank you.